I always seem to forget one or two things when doing this. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Oh no, we're about to start. Yay. Here we go. Zane, Madagascar, welcome. How are you? Almost ready to get started. I want to jump right in with both feet as opposed to only one foot. That would probably not be very enjoyable, honestly, to jump in on something with only one foot when you think about it. Jump into a pool, 1 foot, probably hurts. Doing good, Zane. Thanks for asking. Pretty Fugly, welcome back. Yuyi31, welcome. P. Pucello Shank, welcome. Agorman 5323, welcome. So, J.D. Vance is on both knees ingratiating himself to Donald Trump. It's as pathetic as it sounds. I mean, these guys have absolutely no spine. So yesterday, Trump was basically saying to the world, on the world stage, I believe it was actually at the G7 summit, just flat out was asked, what are you going to do if the Iran deal goes south? He's like, well, I just think I'll probably blame it on JD. JD, we keep trying to find him to help me work this through diplomacy, diploma, like diploma from school. We keep trying to find him, but he's always with that fucking couch. Fucking the couch, actually. It's both. I didn't swear I was saying what he was doing. And if it goes bad, it's fine. I'll just blame him. I'll put it all on him. I take no responsibility at all. And this was Vance's response.
President Trump said yesterday that he was going to blame you if the talks with Iran go sideways. Are you worried that he's going to make you the fall guy?
No, not at all. I think the president...
Did you hear that massive sigh? Let's hear that again.
No, not at all. I think the
president... He's going to make you the fall guy?
No, not at all. I think the president was joking, but as he often does. But no, I think, look, the entire team has worked very well on this, and we've got this thing to a very good place for the American people. Now,
So his body language got...
President Trump said yesterday that he was going to blame you if the talks with Iran go sideways. Are you worried that he's going to make you the fall guy?
No, not at all. I think the president was
now
joking,
he starts moving,
but as he often...
Nah, he's uncomfortable, man. And I mean, it's true. Trump dumps everything on everyone but himself. He takes no responsibility. He famously said exactly that much, right? And as Alejandro says accurately, he sent a lynch mob after his predecessor to hang him. Pinning all the blame on Vance would be a cakewalk. It's true. We keep forgetting that the terrorist MAGA mob that broke into the Capitol was actively looking for VP Vice Pence. What was that, Rufus? Can I help you, sir? Oh, he's pissed at me because he hasn't gotten his walk yet. They were actively looking for Mike Pence, and they had ropes. They had a gallows outside. They fully intended to him. I mean, that's what it was said in their own testimony to the feds. I can't believe it still shows the arrogance of MAGA because, like, everyone knows you never talk to the feds. You never talk to the police without a lawyer present, without a lawyer telling you what to do. And these MAGA morons are just spilling their fucking guts to the feds, just not even giving a shit. Like they could care less because honestly, they honestly thought they could get away with it. Tara.papa, welcome. So yeah, J.D. Vance, this is all a cover. J.D. Vance is definitely worried about this because he has future presidential prospects that all hinge on whether or not Trump is going to break the Constitution and run for a third time. I'm of the mind that he's going to. He has to. Again, Trump is a career criminal and the chief Epstein pedophile in charge of the new Epstein Island. Yeah, he's going to run for office. Same way as it was with Trump 1.0. He has to run again in order to avoid potential charges from the next Democratic president. Which is insane because the next Democratic president, by and large, is going to be too chicken shit to do anything in the first place. I mean, look at Biden. Biden had absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain by pushing the Justice Department to charge Trump. Merrick Garland, same thing. But instead, they wanted to play by the books. They wanted to play by the rules. Well, I am just here to follow the playbook. The playbook says exactly step 1, do not look at terrorists committing crimes. Okay, all right, so we're going to look the other way. Step 2 says let them attack you endlessly as partisan. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I'm just going to read my book for a little bit. Let me see. Where's my glasses? Okay, I can just read. Okay, now what's step 3? Step 3 says lose election. I think I followed the rule book and we lost. What happened? Guys, what's going on? That's the Democrats in a fucking nutshell. And what did it get them? It just got them endless attacks by the MAGA pedophile party, claiming Merrick Garland was biased, claiming Biden was sicking the Justice Department on them, weaponization, this, that, and the other. And then Trump's pedophile regime gets in charge, and they do exactly that with these targeted prosecutions of Letitia James, James Comey, the fucking sandwich guy. Now we're seeing these Minneapolis patriots that fought ICE being targeted. So it's exactly, this is what fascists do. They accuse your enemy that of which you are guilty, which is why the whole pedophile and pedogate and Pizzagate was such a big thing on the right, because they were always the pedophiles. And yet again, like every stream, I now have at least 2, maybe even 3 more stories of Republicans being charged and or arrested for pedophile crimes. It never fucking ceases to amaze. But we are here currently to talk about J.D. Vance getting egg on his face and Netanyahu's come on his back. So first of all, this is the copy, the supposed copy of the MOU between the U.S. and Iran. So I covered this on a stream a couple days ago. This, based on new reporting, seems to be pretty accurate from what I've read. So let's, now that the deal has actually been publicized, it says here, Iranian President Pezeshkian has published an English version of the U.S.-Iran MOU. Title, the version published by Pezeshkian adds Islamabad, which is basically diplomatic protocol. So paragraph 1 in regards to Lebanon, the Pezeshkian version says the parties will be responsible for ensuring Lebanon's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The version presented by the U.S. official says they will respect it. So let's see. Let's see where it talks about Lebanon. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Okay. The IRGC and the United States, together with their allies in the current war, declare upon the signing of this MOU an immediate and permanent end to the war on all fronts, including Lebanon, and undertake that from now on they will not launch any hostile action against each other and will refrain from the threat or use of force against each other. The final agreement will confirm the provisions of this article and the remaining articles. So what is they're saying, version presented by the U.S. official says they will respect it and ensuring permanent end to the war. I don't see either of those words. Frame from the threat. An agreement will confirm the provisions. Yeah, I don't see immediate permanent end to the. I don't see either of those. Ensuring financial. I don't see either of those. Now keep in mind, some of this might be kind of. That's the remaining articles. Should undertake to respect each other's sovereignty. Oh, I think this is what they're talking about. Lebanon. So the context of the paragraph is Lebanon. Lebanon's sovereign territorial version presented by the U.S. Okay. The IRGC and the United States undertake to respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity and to refrain from interfering in each other's internal affairs. Respect versus ensuring. So that is a pretty big difference. Yeah, that's a pretty big difference. Green Fairy, welcome. There's a big difference between respecting each other's sovereignty and ensuring each other's sovereignty. There is a big difference there. So contractually, that is a problem and going to be a sticking point. 6 colors, very fitting number for abomination, says Corn Plum. A guy named Corn Plum has a problem with the LGBTQ flag, but 0 problems with Trump being the Epstein pedophile mentioned the most in the files. Right, Corn Plum? You going to talk about that, buddy? It's amazing how much these MAGA pedophiles come in my comments. They fucking crash out over this flag. Not a single one of these pedophiles like Corn Plum 80 are ever crashing out on Trump being in the Epstein files more than anybody else. Pretty fucking revealing. And they're pretty fucking sus. Corn Plum, you gonna talk about Trump being in the Epstein files, or nah, you don't want to talk about that? Paragraph 4, shipping. The Pezeshkian version explicitly states that vessel traffic will be restored by the IRGC. The U.S. version omits this language. I'm not even sure how to go about finding this. Shipping position states that vessel traffic will be restored. Shall be proportional. Pre-volume of traffic. United States also undertakes to withdraw its forces from the surrounding areas. Movement of merchant ships from the Persian Gulf to the Sea of Oman and vice versa is resumed within 30 days of the pre-war volume, taking into account the need for the removal obstacles. So, paragraph 5 is the Strait of Hormuz. That doesn't help. So I'm a little, I'm pretty sure these are lined up, right? Because paragraph 1, 17, refrain, respect. Yeah, these don't seem to be exactly aligned numerically. Say so the vessel traffic will. So let's just kind of take this, because this seems to be a more updated version of this, is what I'm getting from the report. So, paragraph 4, shipping. The Pezeshkian version explicitly states that vessel traffic will be restored by the IRGC. The U.S. version omits this language. Now, this is weird, because the U.S. wants the Strait of Hormuz open and the vessel traffic to go back to pre-war norms because we need the oil. Come on. We need our hit. Let's go. We need our oil hits, guys. And it's really weird the U.S. version omits that language. That's also a big fucking difference. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know, kind of like a contract between an employee and a business person. You know, the employee is saying, okay, well, I get, you're going to provide me transportation. You're going to provide me a company car, and then you get that in your contract. The company contract that they signed doesn't have that. It's a big fucking difference because, you know, maybe you don't have a car. Maybe you need a special car. I don't fucking know. Maybe you need a fucking Jetsons flying vehicle. I don't know. So this is a big difference there, and it's weird because it actually benefits the U.S. to have that language. Why is it omitted? That's so weird. Paragraph 5, Strait of Hormuz. The Pezeshkian version gives Oman a more prominent role in discussions on future administration of maritime services. So it's a little, I don't think they're necessarily saying that that the Strait of Hormuz and Oman are omitted. I think that the language in the Pezeshkian version is more focused on it and more clear on the discussion. Comical Hexacol says, hello, do you have bread? How many of the people in my chat are just bots? Let me see. Can I click on this guy? It's not going to exit out of it, is it? Channel. Let me go to channel. I want to see this. Comical Hexacol. 3 subscribers. Joined October 20th, 2011. 3 subscribers. 0 videos. And you're asking about bread? What the fuck? Oh, pedophile Whiskey Fiend is back. Whiskey. We got a mega pedophile. Mega pedophile Whiskey Fiend, welcome back to the chat. Hey, Whiskey Fiend, before I ban you from the chat, do you have anything to say about Trump being in the Epstein files a million times? Can you condemn it? Come on, Whiskey. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Let's go, Whiskey. 2 for 1. 2 for 1, Whiskey. How many pieces of bread do you have? Comical Hexacle, you're about to get silenced as well. Does Trump own bread? He owns a pedophile farm. Yeah. Co-sign that with Jeffrey fucking Epstein. Whiskey Fiend, you're not going to say anything about Trump being in the Epstein files a million times, huh? You're just like your pedophile Cornplum 80. Not going to talk about the Epstein files. You guys were so hyped about the Epstein files until you found out that your pedo Fuhrer is in it more than anybody else. And now, all of a sudden, you guys have more fucking ire for a fucking colorful flag than you do an island of pedophiles that rape children. Kind of weird. Kind of fucking weird. Yeah, Comical Hexacle, you're kind of annoying. So when you're done being a weird person, you can come out of timeout. Paragraph 11, frozen assets. How is it that we can call out any of the Democratic Party for the pedophile, the mass child expectation? Mike's Travel 609, that's Trump. You keep forgetting Trump is in the Epstein files a million times. So here we go again. Another MAGA pedophile, Mike's Travel 609 is in here. Mike's Travels 609. Sorry, he's in here, and you're not going to comment about Trump being in the Epstein files a million times, right? Are you going to comment on that, Mike's? Go ahead. Come on. Let's go. But why only look at one person and not either the... Who's in the Epstein files? The only person in the Epstein files on the Democratic Party in a negative context is Bill Clinton, whom the left has been very adamant about, that if he did something wrong, it should be investigated, and he should be jailed. By the way, Bill Clinton sat before Congress. So Mike's Travels, since Donald Trump has mentioned more than anybody else in the Epstein files, can you commit to advocating for Donald Trump to be before Congress to talk about his affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein? Huh, Mikes? Where you at, buddy? Don't get silence on me now. Come on. Come on, Mikes. Where you at, buddy? Where you at, little dude? I agree that it should be investigated, but I also believe everyone should be. Right, so Donald Trump and Bill Clinton should be investigated. Right, so that's the thing. Except Bill Clinton has only one accuser. Donald Trump has multiple accusers. He also has a history of rape. He was found liable for rape in the E. Jean Carroll suit. So, can you commit that by the overall arch of the evidence, it's very clear that Donald Trump has more accusations than Bill Clinton? Can you commit to that, Mike's Travels? Where are you at, Mikes? Come on, buddy. Come on. What bullshit excuse are you going to come up with next? How are you going to deflect from this? Watch, he's going to deflect back to the... But the Democrats are... But the Democrats are always... I hate the Democrats. They're all guilty. Yeah, so you cannot actively say that Donald Trump is the one. You cannot actively say. You have to make it about both people when it is very clear there is a Republican pedophile party problem. And that, my friend, is why you go on mute. Come back when you're not a fucking idiot. I'm not a Republican. We got another one. We got another MAGA pedophile. Mike's Travel 609 says he's not a Republican while he parrots the exact same MAGA pedophile talking points. Like I've said over and over, it goes to shows that even pedophiles like Mike's Travel 609 know that what they're doing is wrong, but they're not man enough to admit it and actually change their behavior because they're truthfully whiny little bitches. All right, back to the talking point. Paragraph 11, frozen assets. The Pezeshkian version adds that funds... I think someone just got a timeout. You are correct, Kevin McDonald. If people aren't going to answer my questions in the chat, they go in timeout. So let's say Trump goes to jail. Does that negate rampant pedophilia within the alphabet community? So Who399, you are sadly misinformed because yet again we see more and more. And by the way, Who399, I'm going to put you in timeout if you don't talk about this question. But we have seen over my streams, I cover on average 3 to 4 MAGA pedophiles every single day that have been sentenced or arrested. And by the way, the January 6 terrorists, a vast number of them, like about 50, have been arrested for pedophilia. You going to comment about that? But no, it's all about the gay community, but not about the actual pedophiles that are getting arrested, right? Who? Republic 0537 says condescending much? Yeah, because you guys are all liars. You come into my stream, spew a bunch of bullshit, I give you the facts, and then rather than be adults and come back with actual facts and have a policy dispute, you just whine that I'm being condescending, because you're wrong. You're just fucking wrong. You avoided the question. I did not avoid the question. I actively stated that the continuing constant is MAGA pedophiles being arrested, not the gay community. So you're in timeout because you're deflecting. You're coming up with bullshit. Come back when you're ready to be an adult. You got the blinkers on? What the fuck does that even mean? You pedophiles are so fucking weird. You're on 30 minutes. Paragraph 11, frozen assets. The Pezeshkian version adds that funds should remain fully usable, whether retained in their original accounts or transferred. So this is a little confusing summation of it all because I'm not sure what the U.S. versions, like this was very clear because it says U.S. officials say they will respect it. It shows the difference. So I'm not sure what the difference is between paragraph 11 in the Pezeshkian version and paragraph 11 of the U.S. version. Paragraph 13, negotiations. The Pezeshkian version states that talks on the final deal will focus exclusively on the remaining provisions. This is not particularly helpful, I feel. Wow, that's blurry as fuck. Is it blurry as fuck for everybody, or is it just because I don't have my glasses on? Mount a Page, welcome. Shally Shu, Shally Shu, welcome back. All right, where are we? Oh, the MAGA pedophiles are melting down again. Where are we? 2 gay vampires and a bloody tampon is yet again deflecting about the LGBTQ flag. Hey, 2 gay vampires and a blood. Are you going to talk about Trump being in the Epstein files a million times? Yes or no? Come on, buddy. I believe in you. You going to talk about Trump being in the Epstein files a million times? No? Trump being mentioned more than anybody else in the Epstein files? Trump being accused of a 13-year-old girl being forced to give him oral sex and then she had to bite him on the dick in order to get out? You going to talk about that? Google baby Preston UK and learn something about real PDFs. Hey, Christian, how about you Google Donald Trump lawsuit Jane Doe, because he was sued in 2016 for raping with Jeffrey Epstein a 13-year-old girl. Trump was an informant for the FBI. Oh, my God, the amount of cope from you guys is fucking pathetic. He was an informant for the FBI, yet he never testified, and he had multiple accusers against him. So basically, he was a pedophile, but it's okay because he was not talking to the FBI. You just made up some fake news, right? Oh, yeah, here we go. Now the pedophile, 2 gay vampires and a bloody tampon, is now ranting about the Clintons, the Obamas. Your guys' bullshit is so fucking tedious. This is why no one takes you serious. This is why no one likes you. This is why you're in my chat at 5:20 in the evening and you're not out fucking bitches, because every woman who is ever affiliated with you is disgusted, revolted, and wants nothing to do with you, including your fucking mother. Your mom loves me, though, and this dick. So now that we're seeing the meltdown, not only from the MAGA pedophiles in my chat, but we're seeing the Corzin, welcome to the chat. We're seeing the meltdown from the MAGA right that wanted this war against Iran. That's what we're seeing now. So Jake Wallace says, so it goes, I have long argued alongside many others that America's military debacle in Iran will be studied by generations of war historians. Depressingly, we have been proven right. Keep in mind, this same Jake Simmons who said this today was saying this. All of this shit. It's not on the vertical stream very well. Iran's threats of military destruction have proved utterly hollow. The world's most evil regime is on the brink, and Britain has had nothing to do with it. The stupendous battering of Iran is a good thing. Bombs are the only form of diplomacy Iran understands. These fucking bloodthirsty vampire warmongers that get us into these never-ending wars are the ones that are now turning attack. Just like the MAGA pedophiles in my chat here, right? They were all for releasing the Epstein files until they found out that Trump was in them. Then that fucking changed. And that's exactly what happens with the MAGA right melting down over the Iran deal because they wanted the war, and now that the war has been a complete and total failure, they're crying about it. This man fanatically supported the Iran war. The Iran war he zealously cheered on was a predictable catastrophe, but now he claims somehow to be proven right. These warmongers have been completely humiliated. Again, that must never be listened to ever again. This is correct. We cannot let these fucking hawks, these warmongers, these fucking baby killers that are also connected to the Epstein files, we cannot let them ever, ever have a say in foreign policy. And I'm glad that we're now in a point in the Democratic Party where we're having a discussion about Biden's foreign policy team, who also helped get us into this mess by backing Israel over America 99 out of 100 times. However, that's not enough. These people need to completely be ostracized from society. Okay, the MAGA pedophiles are melting down on my chat again. Host is absolutely correct. Thank you, Neptune. 10 whole people, huh? Here, huh? A guy named Pooper Dave is making fun of me for having 10 people in my chat. Pooper, don't you have a toilet to get on, dude? I'm a gay motherfucker, and I love Trump. Oh, so you're just a fucking loser. Okay, well, hey, you know what? Leopards eating faces need people in their party, too. I just subbed. Thank you, Neptune. Appreciate the sub. Thank you, brother. Always good to have some positivity. As you can see, the MAGA pedos are having an absolute meltdown in my chat. So it is nice to have some support. So this is also Eric Erickson, who's also having a meltdown because he was for this war the entire fucking time. Now, he says, well, this is what Vance was saying.
And here's the thing. Yes, you're right. Sometimes when, information about this deal will leak out, you'll have somebody on a propaganda channel in that country, in Iran, who will say something that isn't true. I think it's sort of expected. It frustrates me too, but it's expected that some Yahoo is going to say.
He is both simultaneously 200 years old and at the same time 25. He has the weirdest fucking face. There's a movie with Robin Williams, Bicentennial Man, where they basically Neptune Red. Thank you for following. Neptune Red, where they are creating Robin Williams's cyborg human face, right? And they say it's all about imperfection. J.D. Vance is like the perfect version of imperfection. I can't describe it as anything else.
Say something about the deal that is untrue. What really bothers me and frustrates me and is unexpected when the American media literally picks up talking points and propaganda from the RAGC that has no support in the text of the agreement that we've actually negotiated and no basis in reality.
Okay, so he's basically saying that all the leaks, like this one here of the deal, which has turned out to be fairly accurate from what I can see, is all bullshit. So, what specifically is he disputing?
This is good for the American people. The Iranians don't get a dime unless they...
there it is. The Iranians get no money. No money.
Behave and change their behavior. And this means that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Sean,
change their behavior. Like, basically, we're going back to where they were previously, before this disastrous war that Trump completely surrendered to Iran for. So you're giving them money anyways. You're giving them money to win a war. You are paying them reparations.
Say they don't get a dime. Do they ever get an American dime, a taxpayer dollar?
No. So
there it is. There's the lie. Spot the lie. Do they ever? This deal gives Iran $300 billion from the Gulf Coast and American allies, whom, of course, are not going to cover this, right? It's America and Israel that led them into this war. So they're not going to want to cover this. This is going to have to come through American tax. Israel ain't going to fucking cover it. Are you kidding me? Israel? No fucking way. No fucking way. It's going to have to come through the American wallet.
Number one, first of all, they never get a dime of American taxpayer money, ever.
That's bullshit.
Full stop. Not even close.
Okay.
What we have said is there's a lot of economic benefit in the United States relieving a lot of sanctions and welcoming them back into the world economy.
Which is what the JCPOA did, that Obama got, and he didn't have to go to war for it. Obama was truly, look, Obama had a lot of faults, but he was truly a fucking Jedi when it came to the JCPOA. And Trump is just this fucking man-child, just a bull in a china shop. He's not even a bull in a china shop because he has no physical energy or stamina or strength. But I don't even know. He's just summoning the fucking... What do they call it in the government? They're saying some project where the government control the weather, and he just unleashes tornadoes on the China shop. That's Trump.
There's a lot of benefit there. Not American money, but there's a lot of economic prosperity that can flow from that. What the president said to them is, we want you to be a successful country. But for you to be a successful country, you've got to give up on this threat. You've got to give up on this desire to have a nuclear weapon. And if you do that, the United States is willing to have a much better relationship.
Jesus Christ. So complete and total horseshit. 90% of the stuff that he's saying. Eric Erickson, who is a massive Trump dick rider, right, backs him on so much stuff. He definitely has his differentiations with him, but it's on the most stupidest of things rather than the important. There's specific issues, right, like the Iran war. And there's a lot of facets to the Iran war that are dumb and stupid. And Eric Erickson takes the stupidest of the dumbest of the moronic issues within the Iran war, which is pretty fucking stupid to begin with. And that is the thing that he disagrees with Trump on. And that's how that's his entire shtick. He never disagrees with Trump when it comes to, like, the January 6th terrorist attacks, whom he condemned, but now he is in favorable of, right? But he'll still say, like, he'll mealy mouth about it, like, oh, I just wish they hadn't put the shit on the walls. But they were just patriots that were shopping around their ideals for voting. That's all it is. It's called, why are you typing in caps? It's called a job, you bum. Time to grow up and apply to a Waffle House. This is my job. My job is getting fucking losers like you in my chat and monetizing my YouTube channel. That's my job. Every time you comment, you boost my algorithm. You get people in my chat because of losers like you. Meanwhile, it's 5:30 in the evening. Shouldn't you get a job? It's 5:30 in the evening. Do you know where your local MAGA pedophile is? Are they at home? MAGA Israeli pedos. Yeah, that sounds accurate. Israel is a giant pedophile state, just like the Trump regime. So he says this is the VP a few days ago arguing that all the talk about the deal was IRGC propaganda. Now, what he called the propaganda the other day actually is the deal as unveiled by the White House. So, to which James Surowiecki accurately states, they know they're lying. We know they're lying. They know we know they're lying. We know that they know that we know they're lying, but they still keep lying. This is literally the meme of fucking, what's the guy, Ben Stiller. He's like, come on, I know you know you, and I know that I know you. He's absolutely correct in his summation here. Begging for loose change from strange men ain't a job. Okay, then why are you here? Why are you here? You're literally so desperate for attention. You come in to get fucking rage farmed by a leftist. Hey, you know what? I support your right to be here because the more you're in my channel, the less you're raping children on the streets. Get a clue, Magapedo? You said it, Neptune. These people, again, Neptune, look at it this way.
I guarantee.
It's fucking 5:30 and these people are in my chat. Hey, when they're not sending their best, right? They're not sending their best to my chat. Vance claims Donald Trump has the highest IQ of any president in history.
And it's interesting that so many people, like, you know, if you give Donald Trump an IQ test with the other 45, 46 presidents that the United States has had, I guarantee he'd be either near the top or at the top. And it's interesting that...
I mean, just the fucking sycophancy here is just so pathetic. To be an adult, maybe potentially grown-ass man and just absolutely gargling Trump's balls like this is fucking pathetic. It's just unbelievable. Trump is not a genius. He's the world's pettiest vending machine. Oh, Corzin, I love that description. Feed him money, push his buttons, and all you get is blame, insults, bitching. Holy shit, Corzin. You need to trademark that description. That is spot fucking on, brother. He's the world's pettiest vending machine. That's brilliant. Carly, thank you for the laughs. So here is Trump also just verbally filleting Trump yet again.
What I will say, and this does bother me,
Why is this clip so
is that you've
quiet?
seen people within Bibi's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal and in some ways very personally attacked the President of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world.
So I will say this. This is actually pretty clever of Vance, the way he's handling this, because it's like what this statement is so much more belligerent towards Israel, and he has shown a much softer tone towards Iran. So is Trump. And hell, there's Republicans that are now saying that, yeah, Iran should have ballistic missiles. We let Saudi Arabia have it. They're getting attacked by Israel. Why should we not let Iran have ballistic missiles? So it's kind of insane to see the turn, and Israel is uniquely hated the world over. Like, there's a few pockets of support, you know, within the AfD in Germany, the radicals in France, you know, a couple other places in Britain, but the public is not. They are uniquely despised by the rest of the world. So this is a warning. I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the world. He's kind of setting up for a breakup. He's like, Israel, you know, it's just, we need to see other people, baby. We need to see other countries, you know. China's calling me every single night. I got Saudi Arabia sending me booty pics. And hey, you know what? I've got fucking Great Britain sending me feet pics. I don't know, Israel. The whole ball and chain routine just ain't doing it for me anymore. It's actually kind of a clever play by Vance here. Trump is the best president ever, says Glenn Levy, the Magapedo. Yeah, okay, buddy. Hey, has your gas prices gone down? Have your wages gone up? What has materially improved in your life from January 2025 to now? Would love to hear it, buddy. Would love to hear it. Vance is trying to differentiate himself and America from other Israeli officials here, as if Trump didn't threaten to destroy Iranian civilization in April, and as if America did not sign off on the idea of just killing Iranian leaders until one of them decided to make a deal. I will say, maybe I've missed this, but I don't think Bibi himself has actually criticized the deal. Yes, he has. Because I think he's maybe a little bit more familiar with the details of what's in it. But you've seen people in their system, Itamar Ben-Gvir, who is a convicted terrorist, and Bezalel Smotrich, who is a genocidal freak, who've attacked the deal. And I guess my response to them would be, what is your exact proposal? You're a country of 9 million people. You can't just kill your way out of solving every single national security problem that you have, which is so hilarious because that's been the United States guiding light throughout its entire life since the War of 1812, basically. But this is an interesting. Vance, he's right. He's trying to differentiate himself from Israel. He's trying to say, they're setting it up for a fall. They're trying to make Bibi the scapegoat. That's what's happening here. And I think it's going to work. Bibi is a uniquely evil person who is quite dislikable in person and in politics. This could pay off. Honestly, it could work. So, but it doesn't change the fact that within the Israeli government, within the Israeli populace, they are uniquely devoted to genocide against Palestinians. That's not something you can just turn off overnight. That's not something you can do away with just by overthrowing a national leader, because even people to the left of Bibi running against him in politics are also genocidal freaks. So even if you replace Bibi, another head of the snake pops right up. Times of Israel. Netanyahu to lean on right-wing pundits, pro-Israel senators to influence final Iran deal. He plans to use media figures such as Fox News' Mark Levin and pro-Israel politicians to get his message across to Trump. We have to keep saying, this is fucking treason. It is. This is a foreign government influencing policy in America. We wouldn't allow it if it was Saudi Arabia. We wouldn't allow it if it was the UK. We wouldn't allow it if it was fucking Canada. And all they want to do is make maple syrup more free here in America. And yet we wouldn't tolerate it from fucking Canada. But because it's fucking Israel, and they are so deeply tied in with the military-industrial complex and the elites in this country, and there is such a web of Epstein pedophile links between Israel and America that they can't separate it. We need a complete botching of everything with Israel. BDS is the only way to go. Boycott, divest, sanction. Yeah. What's the thing that Rihanna sings about? BSM? No. What is it? What's that fetish with with fucking whips and chains that Rihanna's talking about? What is that? Is it B? It starts with a B, does it not? Whatever, fuck it. We need to stop funding Israel, period. Correct. Ostu Sodripi 1864 says we need to stop funding Israel, period. That is the correct position to take. BDSM, thank you. That is just bad luck that boycott, divest, sanction is so close to a wild fucking kink fetish in the sex world, BDSM. That's crazy. It's funny how after all the not unwarranted speculation over whether Netanyahu was blackmailing Trump, it all came down to a combo of the president being easily swayed and being personally inclined toward war. Now, I think this is accurate. I think this is accurate with a good point here, but I think there's also more because this is just what's being reported in the public eye. We don't know what's happening behind closed doors, okay, guys? I spit everywhere doing that. I know this is not going to show up on Vertical, so forgive me, but I'll read it. A senior administration official with knowledge of Trump's calls to Netanyahu said they usually entailed the Israeli leader arguing for more military action, had said Trump had grown tired of it. This absolutely tracks. Trump is like super sundowning ADD. You cannot hold his attention. Oh, a butterfly. You cannot hold his attention. Bibi tells the president why he needs to blow something up and why Israeli intelligence knows how to do it and when to do it, and the president listens, the person said. The calls are usually the same. That's very interesting. But here's the thing. You have to wonder why he listens to Bibi so much. The only other person that he listens to more than Bibi, I think, that's been reported is Zoran Mamdani. When Zoran speaks, Trump listens. And I guarantee you Zoran does not have the kind of compromat that Bibi does. Bibi has all the Epstein files. They're going to have all the footage, everything, every dirty little child rape that Trump and Epstein did together, Netanyahu and Russia have it. That's why he's always praising them, right? The president. So it's very telling that he's always listening to Netanyahu. Trump showed more of a willingness to go to war with Iran than many of his advisors, and more more than the Israelis suspected, people familiar with the dynamics said. Netanyahu developed detailed attack plans on Iran and presented them to the president. Bibi was reassuring to Trump that we have a lot of capability, Graham said. So this is what's reported in the media, and there's good reason to believe this, right? These seem to be pretty well sourced. Yes, I believe these call happened. Yes, I believe these are pretty fair summations of it. But that doesn't change the highly probable, likely possibility. If I was a betting man, you would want to bet. If Kalshi, put this up. Polymarket, put this shit up. I'm putting this up right now. That Bibi and Israel, the government of Israel, has much more detailed copies of the Epstein files than the public of America has right now. Calling it right fucking now. And that doesn't mean that that shit is not getting leveraged behind the scenes. Glenn Levy is a pedophile. Why does Glenn Levy sound familiar? Screwworm maggots. BB got copies? Oh, he absolutely does. Who is Glenn Levy? Hold on. Why does that sound familiar? Glenn, how do you spell it? Levy? Levy? Glenn Levy. Auckland, New Zealand. Stunt coordinator, writer, funny guy. Glenn Levy was born in Auckland, New Zealand. I don't know why you're saying that about this guy. I don't know anything about this dude. Glenn Levy, Epstein. Give me your email. I don't see any correlation between Glenn Levy and Jeffrey Epstein. Richard, I don't know what you're talking about there. Okay, where was I? So, at the end of the day, what really is the problem here is that Israel is committing a genocide. They're committing a genocide in Gaza, and they are now starting belligerent wars of expansion in Lebanon, Iran, and there is a third country here that I can't fucking think of right now. Glenn Levy was the MAGA dude earlier? Who? You lost me, chat. I'm a little confused on that point. So anyway, there's a genocide happening in Gaza because of Israel. How do we know this? Well, obviously, there's all the documented human rights organizations. There's Omar Bertov, who is a leading historian and scholar of genocide and the Holocaust. And by the way, he's Israeli, so it's kind of hard to say he's as anti-Semitic, which, of course, the anti-Semitic accusation is just bullshit. However, Ehud Olmert, who was the former prime minister of Israel, says these are unprecedented and harsh accusations against an Israeli government and the defense establishment, especially from a former prime minister. But after years of restraint, I have no choice but to make them. Even a former prime minister of Israel is having to say, yeah, there's a fucking genocide and we need to stop. The fight against Jewish terrorism in the West Bank must advance to the next stage and be waged with greater determination. The daily terrorism that is managed, directed, encouraged, and supported by the Israeli government can no longer be tolerated. That is a big statement. Like, I don't even think Obama has come out with anything even remotely close to saying something about this, like this about Trump. He hasn't come out to say anything about Trump in the Epstein files. To my knowledge, he hasn't come out to say much about the war with Iran. He hasn't come out to say much about his corruption. I mean, I think he did in 2024 briefly on the campaign trail, but like that was it. You know, he was like a little disappearing act. So this is huge for a former leader in government to say. The MAGA dude in the chat, Glenn Levy. If you're not I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so lost on this Glenn Levy as a pedophile thing. I don't know what's going on. I did a search for it, and I can't find any connection. And you're saying it's in the chat. I don't know what's going on. Please help me. I'm so confused. If you're not a pro-apartheid Zionist, you're anti-Semitic. Yeah, I mean, that's how they... Because they don't want to actually have the dialogue, and they don't want to have the facts, because the facts would show that they are lying. The facts would show that they are wrong. So then they go for character assassination. Every time you sue a massive corporation, right, that's what they go for. They can't go for anything valid when it comes to the facts, because these corporations are all criminals, corrupt, and liars, and many of them are also in the Epstein files. So when you sue them, they have to go for character assassination. They have to go for, oh, well, you know, he once did drugs. Oh, my God. They've been, I don't even know. What's some of the stuff they said about the Epstein files? Yeah, they said they were on drugs. They said that they were unreliable because they would always be late for work. Like, always the same bullshit. They can never actually argue the facts because the facts would show that they broke the law. So Mehdi Hassan hits the nail on the head as always. here.
When we talk about Gaza, when we talk about Lebanon, when we talk about what's happening in the whole of Palestine, sometimes liberals will say, why you are so obsessed with talking about this? You know, let's focus on what's going on at home. Let's not get distracted by these foreign wars. But, you know, as you said very eloquently in your column, these things are not separate. What's done abroad, it comes home, you know.
Yeah, that's the imperial boomerang. If you do something abroad, especially when it comes to military power, if you're exercising military power abroad, eventually that is going to be used at home to oppress the people. And we've seen that time and time again. And we're seeing that, of course, because the IDF, the Israeli terrorist forces, frequently train with our police, with ICE, with our military, and yet here we are. We're seeing all of the same oppression used against the Israeli population who protest the genocide, and also the Gaza civilians is now being used on us at home. Raccoon Vibe says, "Dear God, please give MAGAs the courage to not whine for one day, just 24 hours. Oh Lord of peace, amen." Raccoon, I'm atheist, but I respect you saying that. Same idea with politicians like Graham Plattner can't argue policy, so they attack character. Yeah, Ostu, I think that's absolutely correct. They have to go for these bullshit accusations, which are done by a MAGA operative. Who has made it explicitly clear her accusations are political, by the way. Chaos Whisperer. Oh, Chaos Whisperer, the MAGA pedophile is back. How do you guys keep finding my channel? Okay, chat, here's the crazy thing. These MAGA pedophiles like Chaos Whisperer, like, I think they sub to me. I don't know how to view my sub count on YouTube, but they legitimately sub to me just to see when I go live so they can come in here and I can rage bait them. Again, 5:45 in the evening, and they have nothing better to do in their lives than come in here and feed my algorithm. Feed me, Chaos! Feed me! Give me your MAGA pedo tears. Give them to me! Yes! Feed me your MAGA pedo tears, Chaos. I want them. Anything that makes MAGA pedophiles like Chaos Whisperer cry is good.
Genocide at home breeds genocide abroad breeds fascism at home. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think when people, I think you're right to say that is the backlash from some people in the center, good people, well-intentioned people.
Well, I disagree with Mehdi on this. The center left and the center of the Democrats are not good people. No. Chuck Schumer? Fuck no. Fuck no. He is not a good person. Hakeem Jeffries? Fuck no. These are not good people. These are people that have supported horrendous wars, absolutely abysmal policies, and have stiffed their constituents when it comes to housing, healthcare, and food. Absolutely not. I do not agree with Mehdi here. But a lot of the other stuff I do. So, you know, let's build bridges where we can.
People who are not bad people, who say, but you know what, we can't just talk about foreign policy. American democracy is on the line. British democracy is under threat. We need to focus on the threats at home without understanding how everything is interconnected. And
Megan King, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. How you been?
There is an assault on free speech. And the people who are the biggest victims of that assault are Palestinians and supporters of Palestine, right? When people on the left said there's no such thing as cancel culture, remember for years, the right said cancel culture, cancel culture, cancel culture. They meant some student was mean to some right-wing professor or whatever it was, right? Actually, the biggest victims of cancel culture have always been Palestinians or the supporters of Palestine. That's always been the case. And when we talk about why it's interconnected, you look at the last year of the Biden presidency, the attacks on students on campus began under Joe Biden. It continued. And
this is a crucial point because so much of the oppression that we're seeing in Minneapolis, you know, and immigrants by ICE started with the Democrats. It did. It started under Joe Biden because the first people to get targeted for actual oppression were these encampments, were these people protesting for Gaza and for Palestine. And it was Biden and his government, and also many other liberal governments out here in LA. It was Karen Bass. It was Gavin Newsom. They deployed horrendous attacks. And then when the Palestinian protesters were legitimately assaulted by MAGA terrorists, they stood by and did nothing. The liberals are just as guilty for the rise of ICE as the MAGA people are. Because remember Tom Oman? Yeah, he worked for Obama. There's a fucking reason. It's a revolving door of politics, and we need to end it. People like Tom Oman, every single foreign policy person, Jake Sullivan on Biden's team, should never have a fucking job. They shouldn't be within 50 square fucking miles of the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Hi, St. Poodlenut. The 1% of time that screwworm huggers aren't being pedos, they're in chat. Yeah. Like, hey, Neptune, I've frequently said that I would rather have the MAGA pedophiles in my chat here. I'd rather have them coming into my chat than coming onto little kids. That's my take on it. Poor Gamer says, common Medi W. I like you. You. I'm gonna do the De Niro. You. You're pretty good, kid. You're pretty good, kid.
Ramped up on steroids under Trump with Mahmoud Khalil and Ramesh Ostak. But originally, the
exactly
crackdowns came from a Democratic president, from a Democratic governor in New York, Kathy Hochul,
Medi
who sent police into Colombia.
Medi W.
And I think we need to understand that Palestine is, in many ways, the canary in the coal mine for this issue, right? Because if you're willing to let it happen to those people that we don't really care about on the fringes, then why do you not think it will happen to you next? And that's what I say in the column today. The idea that you let the British government decide what you can and can't protest, what word you can and can't say outside Westminster, have priests and elderly women and people in wheelchairs being rounded up for saying 2 words that will get you included with ISIS and Al-Qaeda. And the idea that that's just going to stay there, oh, it's fine, it's only Palestine, that is absurdly naive. It's ahistorical. It goes against everything we know about authoritarianism. Of course, you start with the most unpopular group in society. That's the easiest way to get public support for your crackdowns. And then once you're done with the Palestinian/Jews/rest of the unpopular migrant community, then who are you coming for? And I think we're seeing that in slow motion now in the United States, where Donald Trump has used Palestine to go much beyond Palestine. His crackdown on the First Amendment is way broader than just Palestinians. It's everything.
I have such a broner for Mehdi Hassan. I'm telling you, Mehdi is just so smart. He's so eloquent. He's so well read, and he just knows every little detail. And I mean, everything that I said when I paused that, he's saying as well. And this is where I get my education, because I listen to people far more knowledgeable than me. Like there's just a brilliant economics professor, Corzin. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much, brother. There's this. Gotta run, but thanks for the broadcast. Gonna drop a follow you. Thank you, Corzin. Appreciate it always. Every day, Tuesday through Thursday on 5 p.m. and then Mondays and Fridays 3 p.m. I'm always here. Thank you. There's this brilliant economics professor on Twitter, Catherine Rampell, who I get a lot of my economic information from. Brilliant lady, very, very smart, well-read, much smarter than I am. And that doesn't mean that I don't disagree with them on things, because even smart people can be wrong. Just like, I disagree with Mehdi here, that I don't think the people in the center and center-left are good people. I think they're just as corrupt as many on the right. Maybe not to the extent, but I don't think that they are as clear-eyed as people say that make them out to be. W. Corzin, yes, Neptune. So it's just very important to be listening to people more knowledgeable than you. And when you disagree with them, it's very important to have the facts, to have details, and to have those good faith policy discussions. I would love to talk to Mehdi about, he says he thinks that people on the center left and whatnot, what did he say, are good people, well-intentioned people. But then why did he says it here, Kathy Hochul and Biden called the authorities on Palestinian protesters. How does that make them good? It doesn't. I don't think it does. He'd probably say that, there's a difference between overtly good and overtly evil, right? There's a scale, the same way that sexuality is a spectrum. Well, light side and dark side, it's a sexuality spectrum there. But you have to have the facts. And listening to people smarter than you is so fucking important. And I really try to go out of my way to do that, which is the exact opposite of MAGA. So if I'm generally speaking doing the opposite of what MAGA does, I think I'm doing okay. So Ta-Nehisi Coates, fuck, I don't have time to listen to this whole video. But he's saying, I don't know how you remain consistent by claiming an anti-apartheid legacy here in the United States of America while enforcing it abroad. And this is why, it cost the Democrats in 2024 to support Israel. And as they say here, Coates told Chris Hayes the Democratic Party cannot continue to avoid the fuck me. Coates told Chris Hayes that the Democratic I need to start wearing my glasses. Coates told Chris Hayes that the Democratic Party cannot continue avoiding the issue of Gaza and Palestine, saying the party is already facing a political and moral reckoning ahead of 2028. He's 100% correct. And unless the party can right the ship, which I don't think they can, it needs a hostile takeover, but then they're going to suffer the consequences for being in favor of a genocide. Now, this is James Tallarico's
when we win this
speech
race
about corruption, which has a lot of very, very good points that I want to come back to.
The first bill I'm filing as your U.S. Senator is a comprehensive anti-corruption agenda. Getting big money out of our politics by overturning Citizens United. Banning corporate PACs and super PACs so billionaires aren't making unlimited donations to our campaigns. Banning members of Congress from trading stocks and enriching themselves while they're in public office. We're also going to go after the kinds of corruption that don't involve money. We must pass term limits so people aren't making a career out of public service. We must overhaul the Supreme Court because we've seen corruption in the highest court in our land. And we must finally pass a national ban to end gerrymandering once and for all in every state in the union. Once we transform this broken, corrupt system, we can start unrigging this economy. We can start raising our pay, cutting our taxes, lowering our costs. We can finally start to get ahead.
This is there's a lot of overlay here between, this is why populists like Tallarico, as opposed to centrist hacks like Javier Becerra here in California, are really hitting their stride. Because there's a lot of overlap right now, because banning corporate PACs and super PACs, banning members of Congress and trading stocks, even eliminating gerrymandering, are very popular even among the right. You don't have to sacrifice leftist positions in order to win some support for the right. You just actually have to stand on your value, stand on fucking business, and believe in it. And this stuff is the kind of stuff, especially overturning Citizens United, that will unrig the political corruption. JF Baird 5239 says, that just means you're totally brainwashed, nothing left in your brain. Yeah, except I didn't vote for a pedophile. You did. You voted for a pedophile, you're triggered, and now you're here rather than, being an adult, taking accountability, and not voting for a pedophile the next time. But you'll vote for the pedophile next time because you are also a pedophile. I'm sorry, but that's just a fact. Every single Republican that voted for Trump knowing that he was a pedophile, especially now that so much of the Epstein files are out, and you guys still back him, is because you're pedophiles. There is no other plausible scenario other than you being a massive fucking pedophile. I can feel the inflation in my ass and it's too big. Shrinkflation isn't helping. If you can feel the inflation in your ass, that's bad. That might actually require a doctor, not just a better economy, for the record. Neptune, I hope you're okay. So, but James Tallarico's populist positions go far beyond just leftist positions, and this is the kind of stuff that you can win over an audience like
Clearly,
this.
The president thinks this is a good decision, at least politically. Yeah. Whether or not for national security is a different matter here. But politically speaking, what do we know? Where is he now?
Yeah, I think the American people are going, what was the point of all of that?
I love this guy, by the way. He's always so emotive with his hands, and he's so big. He's just like me. I fucking love it. Booney409 says, love one, Trump JD. Well, loving pedophiles definitely won, Booney. You're correct on that. They won by cheating and raping children all the way to the top. And Booney, you're a pedophile for supporting it.
What was the point of all that? Because the American people hated it. And the way you can know that they hate it, just take a look. Trump's net approval ratings hits lows for Fox poll, and this is Fox polls. In May, he had his lowest.
This is a Fox poll. You know how bad you must be doing for even Fox fake news that's paid $750 million for defamation? This is bad.
Ever rating at minus 22 points. You come into the poll that was released last night, the second lowest ever, 1 point better at minus 21 points. Way under.
There it is. Way underwater. There it is.
Water. And with independents, I know you love when I point out the independents, Johnny B. 55 points underwater. I mean, my goodness gracious, this was a political disaster. No wonder the president wants to move on from it.
He said he didn't want to be Herbert Hoover.
Yeah.
It may be that voters were already.
I'm actually kind of impressed that he knew who Herbert Hoover was. And not just be like, Herbert Hoover, love his vacuums, great vacuums, great vacuums. But he actually, apparently, I don't know if someone told him about it, but apparently he knew about, apparently he knew that Herbert Hoover, you know, as a Republican, caused the Great Depression. Weekend Bingo 7766 says, that's all you got, 26 is ours. If me being anti-pedophile and you being pro-pedophile is all you got, I'll take that. I'll take that, buddy. I'll take that, buddy. Bobby Fischer joins in the pro-pedophile saying, no blue wave, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, how'd that work out for you guys in 2018 and 2020? You lost, pedos! G.Aguilar 2023 says hi.
Looking at him like that in a manner of speaking. What about on inflation, which may be driving some of these numbers and directly related to the war with Iran?
Yeah.
Americans voted for decency, and as a result, Kamala lost. Americans voted for a pedophile because Kamala Harris was a stupid, shitty politician, and you backing a pedophile makes you a fucking pedophile, Booney. And you know what happens to pedophiles? They get knocked the fuck out in my chat. Disney paid $16 million for ABC calling him a rapist. Yeah, because they're fucking stupid. I mean, you don't have to tell me that ABC is a stupid thing. And by the way, Trump was sued for raping a child with Jeffrey Epstein. But you don't want to talk about that, right, Weekend Bingo? Do you want to talk about that? The Jane Doe lawsuit in 2016? You don't want to talk about how the child had to bite Trump on the dick to get away from him because she was trying to rape him? Marcus9649 says, I am pretty sure the Democrats are the pedophiles. Okay, then why is Trump in the Epstein files more than anybody else? Why is Trump in the Epstein files more than anybody else? The only prominent Democrat that's in the Epstein files is Bill Clinton, and he's not even mentioned remotely as many times. At least we're not trying to kill people having fun last weekend. Oh, Bobby Fischer, you're talking about the MAGA terrorist that tried to shoot up the UFC fight event, right? And he had a MAGA flag on his gun, and he also was a big fan of Trump, and he hated the Epstein files, right? Is that what you're talking about, Bobby Fischer? That MAGA pedophile that tried to shoot up the UFC event? That's who you're talking about, right? I got you. I got your number, MAGA pedos. No matter what you guys come in here with, you're always wrong. Because at the end of the day, you're pedophiles that support pedophiles, and I have more facts than you. Eat my ass. All right, moving on. See, where are we? By the way, I still see there's like 12 people in the chat. Please make sure to give me a like on this video. Give me a sub. I'm trying to break 1,000 views so I can monetize my channel even further. Neptune says L pedos. Anytime the MAGA pedos come in my chat, it's an instant L. Every single time.
You know, you mentioned Herbert Hoover, the economy, right? That sunk his presidency. Inflation is what is sinking Donald Trump's presidency to all-time lows, at least according to Fox, because just take a look here. Look at Ipsos polling. Trump's net approval rating on inflation. Pre-Iran war, it was bad, right? It was 33 points underwater. But then look in the past month, the average, according to the Ipsos polling, look at that, 51 points underwater. There was no president ever before that had any poll in which he was 50 points underwater on inflation or worse, and the average of the Ipsos polling over the last month was 51 points underwater on inflation.
Trump is the most #1 rated loser ever. He's got more bankruptcies than any president, than any person ever run for president. He has the lowest approval ratings ever to run for president, and he has the lowest job creation record of any fucking president, next to maybe Herbert Hoover. He is a grade A certified perfect loser.
The Iran war absolutely drove Trump to new lows on the issue that got him reelected in the first place, inflation.
Which is why he was seeing Herbert Hoover
there.
What does history tell us about an event like this, a conflict like this, what it might do to your approval long term?
Yeah, if people don't like essentially getting out of the war, right? I mean, just take a look at this. Biden, right? The Afghanistan withdrawal. Days Biden had a negative net approval rating post-Afghanistan withdrawal. All of them.
I love this guy. All of them. No, he has that. He's got an accent. I guess it's something. It's like almost like a Boston thing. All of them Biden's Afghanistan withdrawal, all of them. I love this guy so much.
The presidency was simply put sunk by it. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily what's going to happen with Donald Trump, but it is an ominous potential signal for him when, in fact, you have getting out of a situation the American people don't like.
And it may not have been the only reason, but it was a notable date there.
Which is actually kind of insane because the Afghanistan withdrawal was one of the few good things that Biden did that was unequivocally good. We needed to get the fuck out of Afghanistan. And the only way to do it was always going to be messy because we were entrenched there for some 20 fucking years. You can't be entrenched in a military campaign against a country and get out fucking easy. It's fucking impossible. Poor Gamer says, I'm here for it. YouTube Live is wild to scroll through. Yes, it is. The CNN approval ratings guy is so funny. He talks about like it's some sports competition, not the fate of the planet. I mean, you're right, Poor Gamer. I get it. But just his emotion, his emotings, the way he frames it, I just find it funny. I don't know. I mean, you're right. You're right. It's kind of crazy, but like I'm out here too, you know, making an ass of myself on my streams because the world is ending. We're all going to die. Let's cheer for the meteor. But we got to have some fucking humor because if we just sit here moping around all day about how bad shit is going to be, we're going to become hopeless. And I'm telling you, the way to beat fascism is with hope. Rebellions were built on hope. See? He sounds just like Rubio. You think so? I guess I kind of hear it now I think about it. Good observation. Maybe they're related. So when this regime is completely fucking incompetent, they're all a bunch of nutters, they're all a bunch of idiots. So then this is what happens with all the MAGA pedophiles in my chat when you actually ask them for facts. Like they say, oh, but the Democrats are all pedophiles. Okay, who? Bill Clinton, Bill Gates. Okay, what's the facts? They just turn into monkeys throwing their shit. They never have the facts, which is funny because I actually have more facts about Bill Clinton and Bill Gates than they do. So it's always funny when their talking point is actually my wheelhouse, and I know more than them. Hooray for hope. Yes, indeed.
To a shot that they got in their arm. How did we get to a point where medicine is willing to play a game of Russian roulette with all of our healths?
Well, how we get out of it is we need to return integrity to science, and right now science does not have integrity.
Right.
We held a hearing on the corruption of scientific...
Okay, put a pin in that. Science has no integrity, right? So that means that if a scientific problem comes up by the Trump regime, they should be able to solve it immediately. No problems, should cost them almost nothing because the scientific regime is ready to go, right? We're going to come back to that.
Publication and research. You've got people attacking anybody who is going to publish a study contrary to the narrative or contrary to the product they might have. So peer review is a joke.
So it's important when they talk about they won't publish, the narrative or won't publish this, that, or the other. It's because they have garbage science. They have pseudoscience. They have shit coming out of strip malls next to fucking Better Call Saul's office. That's the kind of doctor's office that they're getting their science from that is trying to debunk vaccines. Vaccines are a fucking miracle. They save lives, and fuck anyone who is trying to get people killed, especially children, by advocating for the opposite.
Publications like PubPeer, the people call it Pub Smear. We're seeing it time and time again of valid scientific research that's been just pulled, either retracted or removed. Even worse, looking right now into a study that was removed, linking SIDS potentially to vaccines, and it's just a very simple analysis looking at VAERS and saying.
By the way, VAERS is completely fucking unverified. It is this open source thing where people can say, oh my God, I stubbed my toe. That means that I must have been abducted by aliens last night. That's the kind of veracity of the bullshit that's on VAERS. It's over and over and over again the dumbest fucking people saying the most stupid shit, and none of it's fucking verified. Because if you were to actually track down these people about their symptoms, you find out that they're just lying. They just made it up. They just wanted attention, and they just wanted a little fucking dopamine boost from people commenting, be like, oh my God, yeah, the vaccine killed me too. Oh my God, I had a heart attack from the vaccine. Oh my God, I was watching, I saw an LGBTQ flag, and I had a heart attack. Clearly there is some kind of science wave behind that is going to kill us all. That's the kind of stupid shit that's on VAERS.
About 78% of the SIDS deaths reported on VAERS since the start of VAERS, and 2,600.
So again, 70% of the stuff on VAERS is all bullshit. That's what VAERS is. And SIDS, no one's ever been able to diagnose it. It has nothing to do with vaccines. Absolutely fucking nothing to do with vaccines. Because if it was vaccines, that means that all the children that get vaccines would have SIDS. Well, guess what? That's fucking horseshit, because this guy had a shitload of vaccines as a baby, and he, unfortunately, is still alive.
VAERS deaths, or child deaths, 78% occurred within, I think, 3 weeks. 58% within 3 days. I mean, I shouldn't even be crying the stats because I just read it, and I'm not, but it's.
See, even he knows it's bullshit. He knows it, so he's got to throw that little stipulation out there because it's unscientific. It's complete horseshit. It's just the talking points so that they can keep people in danger and scared. And when people are scared, they'll do stupid shit.
There's a strong correlation there, and that study got removed. So don't quote me on the stats because I just literally read them about a half hour ago, so I haven't memorized them properly. But
Poor Gamer says, that's just unfair towards the alien abduction community. I met my wife on one of their spaceships. Yeah. I met my ex on a Star Destroyer. Yeah. We made the bridge bounce. Okay, so remember what he was saying, right? If you publish stuff to the contrary to the regime, and now they have great scientists backing their stuff up, right? Okay, point number one. So,
when you started reporting on this, did you imagine that we would still end up here green?
Well, I didn't think it was possible because what they're doing has not solved some of the pool's underlying problems, but I thought it would take weeks or months before this came back. Instead, it was literally within, I think, a week that the pool was so green it looked like in Chicago when they dyed the river green for St. Patrick's Day.
So if you haven't been following, they were wanting to clean up the Washington Fountain pool, right? And they painted the bottom of the pool blue, which is going to reflect the heat from the solar rays, which is going to then warm up the temperature of the pool, which is going to make it easier for algae to grow.
So what was not fixed that should have been fixed? Where do you see this going?
Well, you remember that the big contract that they put out, this $14 million contract, was to basically paint and seal the bottom of the reflecting pool, which was not really a problem. The concrete itself didn't leak. They did seal up some joints that leaked. That didn't fix anything having to do with the problem of algae. To fix that, they were supposed to install a filter, which has not been installed yet, and they were also supposed to fix the pipes that connect the pool to the filter, which often leak and have to be shut down. Those pipes have not been fixed at all, and the idea is maybe they won't be fixed until the fall or later.
So they didn't do the most basic fucking thing about it. And now this is what it looks like.
It was a pretty blue if you minus all the algae green, but it's peeling up already. Look, it's blue. It's peeling.
So now the paint is peeling.
Already. But how pretty. It was a pretty blue if you minus.
So 14 million got spent on this fucking dipshit enterprise. And, of course, it went to a contractor that didn't know what in the fuck they were doing, as one does.
There's a nice big chunk of the reflecting pool. Yeah. Oh, it is blue. How about that? Big chunk of it for you.
3 days ago, I was able to drive right in front of the Capitol.
$18 million well spent.
So all of these people that are anti-vaccine saying, oh, well, we just need to, we're being oppressed. We're being oppressed. Yeah, because you don't know how fucking science works. You get shit peer-reviewed, and then you get laughed at because you don't know the basic fucking foundations of it, and then this is what happens. This is what happens when you hire idiots. I got to end this pretty soon here.
That was 2 years ago.
So this is an important thing. I want to review Hassan.
Okay, Donald Trump eradicated trans athletes. Donald Trump literally made it illegal to be trans and an athlete in the NCAA. Did your life get better? That was literally a year ago. That was 2 years ago. Did your life get better since then? Did you experience any fucking material improvements in your life? No, of course you didn't. Is that fixing the fucking gas prices? Giving Israel more money, is that going to fix your gas prices? Giving Israel more money, is that going to actually improve inflation? Is the cost of living more manageable? We've been giving Israel $10 billion a fucking year on top of everything else that we've been doing, $300 billion since the inception of the nation state over the course of the last 80 fucking years, right? Have things gotten better in that process, on that timeline, especially in the last 2 to 3 years? Have things gotten better? Has ICE improved your lives? Elon Musk is a fucking trillionaire. What good did that do for you? Did it do anything for you that's positive? No, of course not.
That's the key question for all the MAGA. And see, I got some MAGA pedophiles in my chat right now. Okay, Spirit, tell me, how is your life better because of King Pedophile Trump? Tell me. Juan Paul-Fucks_U is also a MAGA pedophile saying Hassan is going to prison. Okay, so how has your life improved? How has your life improved? Tell me. Let's go. Come on, tell me. What's improved in your life? Because Donald Trump is still in the Epstein files. Elon Musk is a trillionaire that has no idea who the fuck you are, no matter how much you try to suck his cock on Twitter. And ICE is still eventually going to target you because that's the way this shit works. See, Spirit, you won't even answer the question. Spirit 859 is yet another MAGA pedophile deflecting, talking about my voting record as a Democrat, while you won't answer the fundamental question. How has your life improved? Because it hasn't. You can't admit that. And again, because you're not a man, you're a weak, pathetic, spineless, whiny little bitch. Nothing in your life has improved. At all. Nothing. Your 501k? Yeah, bullshit, buddy. If you had a 501k, you wouldn't be in my fucking chat at 618. Fucking idiots. They have nothing. None of them have fucking anything. All they have are grievances, whines, and limp dick. That is all you MAGA pedophiles have. My 501k. Yeah, how are you going to get a 501k if you can't contribute to it because your wages have gone down, because you lost your job because of the recession, because your cost of living goes up because billionaire landlords can now work together with a fucking algorithm and charge you more? You guys are so fucking dumb. So speaking of MAGA pedophiles, Spirit and Juan Paul-Fucks-You, this is you guys. Republican police chief arrested for unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. Wow, what a surprise. What did he do? 14 counts of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. He faces up to 280 years in prison, and that is not nearly enough. The alleged incidents occurred between 2005 and 2010 while he was a teacher. Became the police chief, 2020 domestic violence charge, accused him of hitting a woman with his vehicle. Conservative Christians and Republicans have repeatedly accused LGBTQ plus people of grooming and sexualizing, and yet, here it is, again, a MAGA pedophile just like Spirit and Juan Paul, and they won't denounce this. They won't denounce this. They'll come in my chat and piss and moan about me voting for Democrat, but they won't denounce this. This is a man who raped a child and belongs in jail. And here's the thing, it happened between 2005 and 2010. The reason these pedophiles are able to get away with it is because pedophiles like Spirit and Juan Paul are out here giving verbal fellatio political cover for them to get away with it. Because they're deflecting. Because they're always talking about something else. But the Democrats, but Bill Gates. While the pedophiles are literally, the call is inside the White House. Every single time. A Republican pastor's son has been charged with sexually abusing a 12-year-old. A judge called him one of the most egregious predators he's ever seen. Every single time it's a Republican pedophile.
From projectors
bound. All right, I got to wrap it up here. Let's end on some fun notes here. Let's see. There's still about 10 people in the chat. Please make sure to give me a like and a sub, please. I am trying to monetize the channel even more, and I'm very fucking close to being able to do it.
Oh, damn. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, damn. Hold on. Wait a minute.
I love that. I love the cuts that they have in this stuff too, right? It's just a perfectly timed cut. I was going to say, that is the face of a dog that is, like, not entirely sure if it can bite yet. Like, is it time for zoomies? Time for zoomies? Time for zoomies? Zoomies. Not yet. Zoomies. I love it when dogs do this shit. It's so fucking funny. My dog's a little bit too old for it. Also, this poor kid. This poor kid.
How fast does that make you?
It means it makes really fast.
Let me see how fast.
Poor kid. He's like never gonna dress up for Halloween again.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing in my house?
This one broke me when I first saw it.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing in my house?
Like, I don't think gators actually don't like actually have the ability to do facial expressions, right? Or they can't do any. They can't do anything with their mouth. But look at the look of. You can't tell me that he ain't shocked as fuck.
Excuse me, what the actual fuck are you doing in my house?
I'm also kind of surprised why didn't survival instinct kick in there and he like try to slither out of that thing. I don't get it. It's very interesting.
我去，隧道一样，你看这个。
一直都很想知道这里面到底是一个什么样子。
Videos like this, I wonder how much of it is a bit
隧道一样，
and how
你看
much
这
is
个。
legit. Is it a bit or is it legit? Oh, that should be a thing I do. I'm gonna make a poll. Is this a bit or is it legit? You tell me, chat. All right, I gotta get running here. Big thanks to Poi Gamer and Neptune Red 5283. Thank you all for the support. Please, if you haven't, if you're in the chat, make sure to like, subscribe, because I'm trying to grow this channel. I got so much more to say and to do. Thank everybody for tuning in, except for the MAGA pedos. I wish you a very lengthy jail sentence.